Hi, good morning everyone. Avnish this side from Ambitious. We bring to you today AI-driven bootcamp roadmap to a certified QA engineer. So this bootcamp started on 10th of September. We had the launch event where we dive deep on how to get started, what are the basic perks, and how you can get into this. So this open to each and every member who is right now in college or has a dream to pursue QA, wants to understand how complex software systems work, how to break things, how to build things, and how to identify a great career opportunity and landing jobs in the domain. So today we have with us Kaustubha Shravan, who is a solution consultant to getting started on beginner level track of how testing is to be done. We'll be exploring different things, and in the end, I'll tell you how to report these bugs on the platform. So, with that, inviting on the stage Kaustubha Shravan, ma'am. Before we get started with the session, there are a few rules and guidelines that everyone should keep in mind. Throughout the session, you should be attentive. We'll be having a quiz right after the session. The link will be shared in the chat and over the email as well. So, only the ones who share this quiz response based on the session that you'll be attending will be getting a certificate. In order to get a completion certificate, you have to attend all the three sessions. Two of them are today, the beginner and the intermediate track. Tomorrow we'll have the advanced track. Based on that, we'll have a quiz after each session, and after these quizzes, by tomorrow EOD, you are required to submit a minimum of 5 bucks. And once you do that, you'll be able to get your certificate for the same. So, this is the basic procedure. For those who attain the session and submit the quiz, you'll be getting a certificate of participation. Who are able to submit a minimum of 5 bucks, they'll be also getting a certificate of completion. On top of that, we'll have a leaderboard of top 5 or top 10 people who will be displayed on different platforms across social media, and we'll give them a open shout out of this event. And on top of that, we have exciting goodies, placement opportunities, as well as hampers and free DEFS passes for a lucky winner that will be performance based. So a lot to grab, and nothing to lose. So what are you waiting for? And let me know in the chats in the meantime how many of you have heard of testing before. Have you done any tools like have you done do you aware of what are the Chrome dev tools or anything? Let me know in the chats. Okay, Chirag, got it. Definitely. A lot of people here are just getting started. So do not worry, we keep the basics in tight. And we'll be starting from the very crux of what QA stands for. And we'll pick it from there. Okay, we have a lot of people coming in. Sure, usually we'll learn a lot today. The beginner session starts in a short while, and we'll be picking up a lot of hands on activities as well right after this. Happy to see the excitement in the members. There are a lot of comments pouring in. Okay, awesome. Okay, so majority of people I see they're just getting started with this. Never did testing. Okay, got it. Awesome. Yeah, so you'll be able to do the testing and a lot of things around it. You'll understand the architecture on how to have the mindset to become a tester actually, how to break things more off. So this is going to be fun, I hope, for everyone. Anyone has built any project so far in web or Android? Awesome. So we have Kosto ma'am on stage, and very good morning, ma'am.
Hi, Hi, Avnish. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are audible and clearly visible, ma'am. So,
Great.
a warm welcome, and over to you. We'll get started with the session now. Thank you so much.
Give me a moment. Let me just share my screen.
Sure.
Are you able to see my screen?
Uh, yes, it's fine.
Okay. Now,
Yep, it's visible.
give me a moment. Yeah. Now you're able to see the screen, right? I started putting it in another screen so that I'll also be able to see it because I'm seeing myself going into an infinity loop here.
Sure, sure. No worries. We can get started.
So, hi everyone. Welcome today for the hackathon, and I hope you're all excited. And maybe it's a good start where you'll be learning about some of the AI tools and testing and the QA environment, combined with some of the uh, AI and modern tools, which will help us build reliable and inclusive softwares. Let me just start off here. So before we start, I wanted to give you some background into like what is the software works you'll be doing and how the testing will come into picture here. Like how will it be useful and how will you be building a confidence within the user? Like what are the things you'll be doing and why do you need testing and all? So I thought to give you a small intro on it. Before starting off, I'll give a small intro on myself. I'm Kaustubha. I work as a solution architect at Microsoft, and I've been here for in the IT industry for nearly 14 years. And I've been doing a lot of troubleshootings. I was previously in SRE, so I've been doing a lot of testing, and I can tell you the importance of testing in the real-time environments and why do you need it, and how do you build trust by having a good rapport with the customers when you have done the testing well. So that's what we'll be having a session on today. So testing is not only building confidence, it's like the product may work, but only when you do the quality assurance, you ensure that it works securely, and also you ensure that it is working as same as expected for everyone. So testing is not just finding bugs, it's about building confidence that the system works for the users. And also it's like, think of it in this way, that if a developer builds the house, testers will check whether the doors, locks, and everything else is working properly, whether there is a water leakage or there is an electricity which doesn't trip. So only then the user or the person will be able to live happily in the house, right? Like it's the same way. So when you do a when you do a proper testing, maybe in the testing phase you'll be finding out so many bugs, or you'll be saving so much of cost and time for everybody, right? And also when you do a very poor quality assurance, it can cost millions, that too when it is in the production. For example, I think there was one company called Night Capital, which once lost like it must be somewhere around 400 million in 30 minutes because of some software bug which they are not tested it during the initial stages of the production. So before going into production, I think quality assurance goes beyond it. Like you will have to make sure that all the tests on the performance or security or the user experience, everything must be taken care. So only then you'll be able to build trust. It's not like once you send it into production you'll have time and you can do tests and all. So today, like in this sessions, you'll be learning on how you can do the QA testing, and also it's like a hands-on where you'll be trying out things. So it's a great thing to do it today. So some of the things, I think all of you or most of you are all students here. So you should know the vocabulary of testings, like what is unit testing, what is integration testing. Like there are a lot of things where people keep on telling, right? Like we did this type of testing and we use this type of frameworks. So what are the types of testing available? First thing is like unit testing. What is unit testing? It's like you'll be dividing your code into smaller code units, and you will be making sure that every small piece of your code is like, for example, when you have a calculator, and calculator does lot of functions, right? It does addition, multiplication, division, and it can do with sine theta, cos theta when it's a complicated calculator. So you'll be taking each part of those, be it addition or subtraction or multiplication. You'll be testing the smallest piece of code. That is called unit testing. Whatever features you'll be developing across, you'll be dividing them into smaller chunks and then you'll be testing those across. So whole code divided into smaller pieces of code. So that is unit testing. The other type of testing you can do is like integration testing. What is integration testing? So for example, you have a login page and you have something called as a dashboard, and you have the other things where you'll be sending notifications across. There are so many things where some modules work together. Modules are the smallest pieces of code which achieve a certain capability required. So that is how you will be completing certain functionalities in small pieces of code. So integration testing is like making sure multiple modules work together. So where you will be seeing whether all the modules you are taking care are all joined together and they work together. Are you able to hear me? I hope people are able to hear me.
Yeah, Kaustubha, you're audible.
Oh, okay, great. Sorry. Like I felt like I was, yeah, yeah. So as I told, like integration testing is like making sure multiple modules are working together, like login page along with dashboard. We'll be making sure we are adding things together and then we do a testing to see if that part of the integrated modules are working together. So that is called as like checking the module interactions. That is integration testing. There's other thing called system testing. This is like end-to-end validation. Once your unit testing and integration testing is passed, you'll be next going to something called as system testing, where you'll be checking the whole application as a whole part, like end to end, right from the login page till the order is completed and the customer gets the feedback, or maybe something on the feedback page is sent. So you'll be checking it as a whole. This is called system testing. There is something else called regression testing. Like we do this to ensure nothing breaks when you add a new feature or frameworks, where you are adding something new. You want to test it and see that whatever is already working is not breaking when new features are added. So like old features should work along with new features. This is called regression testing. So what are the frameworks utilized for this, like when you want to do some testings like this? Normally, like the industry standards are, there are something called as selenium, and there is something called uh, JUnit, and there is pytest and cypress. And what is selenium is like, it is for UI automation, especially for web apps. When you want to do something on that side, you will be using frameworks like selenium. And JUnit and pytest are like for unit testing, when you want to do unit testing on your Python code, or when you want to do modern web type testings. So all the startups now are using cypress. So these are used for modern web test testing. uh, the manual testing still matters. It is not like saying that AI will be replacing all these testings and all. The manual testing still matters, but automation ensures that you do the speed and coverage and complete your testing in a very fast manner. That is what you can do. Apart from this, there are other big companies like where they do something called chows. So if you have read some articles on Netflix, so they have something called chows testing. This are the things where you learn when you get into something called as SRE rule, where it's a site reliability rule, where people are asked to go inside the environment, a random user, and they will be destroying certain things, and they'll see how the system reacts to those. So those are some of the types of testings you do when something breaks unexpectedly in the production. How is the system built up to handle those? Those are the types of tests you do. So I think you would have got an idea into now, like what are the basic terminologies or frameworks, like what is the use of testing, right? So let's go on to see like what are the free tools you can use for bug reporting and other things. So these are some of the free tools you can use for bug reporting. There is something called Jam.dev, where you can share your bug reports and also capture it, like where is this happening. Bug. See, now we got to know what is testing, right? Like we need to have some type of reporting which will save us time by making issues reproducible. Instead, it's not like working and you get logs, screenshots and all, right? But you want the bug to be reproducible so that most of the teams will understand the bug when it is reproducible. So that's why bug reporting is where most one things I see in hackathons is like bug reporting is where most student teams fail in hackathons. Like issues are reported vaguely, like this is not working with no context and all. So, but you have so many tools you can utilize to solve this. It's like if you use Jam.dev, like it captures the screenshots of the bug, browser console logs, and also the network request where it is coming. This makes the bug reproducible. So one golden rule is like you want to have the bug to be reproducible. If I can't reproduce the bug, I can't fix it. There are certain things where it happens intermittently, but still there should be a way of reproducing the bug. For example, instead of saying login does not work, so when you use something in Jam.dev, you can say that you can attach the screenshot saying error 401 unauthorized Chrome version, something like that. API calls have been failed, and I'm not able to do the authorization to the page. So you can add up things like that where it gives more context instead of just saying login doesn't work. So when you see those errors, you'll be able to understand what is happening and why is it not working. So you can even use something tools called as like Trello or GitHub issues. Like these are also great. They will teach you like how you can do a structured bug reporting. So when there are some extensions in the browser, like which I've told, like when you have some bugs and you want to report it instantly, there is something called as the browser extensions which you can attach. And also the GitHub issues is very good, and it will help you, and it has like a forms where you can fill it in a structured way, and you can say that these are the things which are happening, and you can also add some of the screenshots of the bug. It gives you the structured way to log the bug which you have seen. So that is one of the tools I wanted to talk about. And also there are other AI tools which you can use for the testing and QA. Let me just go across that. Yeah. So one thing I want to start off here is like AI doesn't replace testers. It augments them by generating repetitive test cases, predicting failure points, and speeding up the coverage. Like it's like AI is transforming QA. Like for example, if you see testim.io, it's a AI-based automated test generation. It generates automated test case by describing a scenario in plain English. So you just say that this is my application, this is all happening, and I want automated test cases for the scenario. Just in the plain English, like what you do in ChatGPT, you can use this AI to automatically generate the test for you. And there's something else called as Mabel, like which it detects when your UI changes, like when a button position or anything else in the UI changes, and it auto heals test without you rewriting the scripts. So based on whatever changes you're doing in the UI, it creates the test without you going back and then creating the unit test and the stress test and other tests. It sees the whatever changes you're doing in the UI, and it auto creates it. So it reduces our manual work, right? Like sometimes you feel like you are coming back with a lot of requirements and you are concentrating on changing those requirements, but then you're pulled back to write some test cases, right? So it augments your work. It helps you to generate things very easily. Then the other one I wanted to mention is Codium.ai. It's like when you code, it suggests unit tests based on your function logic. This is very useful. Like when you have a lot of modules and all of them are working, and you want to see like each module is working individually better. So that's when you can use something called Codium AI, where it suggests the unit test. Whatever the function logic you have written, it goes through it and then suggests these are the places you need to have unit test, and these are the places you need to add the logic for it. And as you all know, there is ChatGPT and Copilot, where it can even generate test cases, mocks, and even edge case ideas. Like, for example, if you say what should be the error it should display when a user enters uh, integers in the place of a characters. So if it is a name field and it should have characters as input, and the user is entering something like 999 something, what should be the message it display? So these are the places you can utilize in your hackathon also to make sure that you are able to have the testing done automatically, and you can concentrate more on the creating part of the product. instead of just thinking on the testing part. So AI won't replace testers. Instead, it removes this repetitive task. So humans can focus on the strategy and exploratory testing. So that is one thing I wanted to mention. So the other thing is like on the accessibility and site performance, like since you're doing a hackathon and just having a good quality assurance, it isn't just about bugs. It's about inclusive, fast experiences, and also it should make sure that everybody are added and everybody can use it. These are some of the brownie points you get. So normally when accessibility and performance are the judging key criteria in hackathons and real products, you want to make sure that everybody can use your app, including people with some disabilities. So these are some of the things you will have to keep in your mind when you're developing something. Like there might be some blind users, then you will have to add something on the screen readers, like where it can just click of a button and it can read what is on the screen. And also there could be users with motor disabilities, like keyboard navigation must work for them. And there could be users with some color blindness, color contrast is crucial. So and these are not just ethics, it's law. Many countries have accessibility compliance requirements itself to be taken across in your initial requirements. So these are the things we will have to keep in mind even if you are doing something on the hackathons. Like when you develop these things in your mind, it's like it makes sure that you, when you are into the production or into the companies when you're working, all those thoughts will flow across even here. So that is one of the thing you will have to think across the accessibility. The next thing would be like on the performance. So when you have performance, it's like faster sites is equal to happy users. It's like uh, for example, I can give you an example here saying that Amazon found that for every 100 millisecond delay, there is a cost of 1% in sales. So every 100 millisecond delay. So you can think about how the performance is affecting every company revenue, right? Like even Google. Like if you see the Google ranking also depends on the performance. And everything you use is like nowadays everyone wanted to be more responsive, and the page load time should be less. And those are the things which you'll be thinking across, right? So you will have to keep across in your mind when you're developing something. Performance is one of the important thing to keep across. The next is like the tools. Like what are the different types of tools you can utilize? There is something called like a lighthouse on the Chrome dev tools, or there is something called as wave. These are some of the important tools you can utilize for accessibility testing. And also like when you want to do audit type of things and see like what is happening in your environment, this is one of the things you can keep it across. So these are some of the things you will have to keep in your mind when you're developing things. And then make sure that I can give you one tip, one hackathon tip. Judges love it when you say like we tested accessibility, performance, and we have added those, and it shows some maturity. It's like you are thinking about other people when you're developing things. So that shows the growth mindset you have instead of a fixed mindset. So my suggestion would be like I suggest you to keep across some of the points I've put today and try to build some product which would be useful for everyone. And it should have accessibility, and it should have performance, and it should make sure that everybody are included. So that's the content I had for today. And thank you for having me. One thing is like I can have one final word here. It's like QA is not boring. Like you can't just say like finding bugs, jobs. When you say QA, people think like they only find bugs. That is the jobs people, what people think about your job. But it is not only about that. It is ensuring quality, trust, inclusivity. Everything is included, and people believe more in your product. And with AI tools, all these testers are more powerful than ever. And if you build a product at a hackathon and even spend 15 to 20 minutes in testing, it makes your demo shine and it avoids crashes on the stage. And people will be very happy to see your demo, and you would be satisfied your whatever you built is shown across in the demo. So make sure you spend at least 15 to 20 minutes to do the testing. And I hope all of your demos shine today. and you have a great time today in the event.
Thank you so much, Kaustubha, for the session. So, we have a few questions that were shared by the audience in the meanwhile. So, can we take it up now?
Yes.
Sure. I'll just read it one at a time. Just a minute. Yeah. So, first question we have, how do you think the choice of testing framework can impact the efficiency of a project or overall team?
So, choice of framework could differ from team to team based on the product you're developing and based on the timelines you have. So, what normally in a production happens is, as and when you're creating something, you have unit tests to test it, and then you have something called as the integration test, where I mentioned when two things are working together, you'll be combining them and doing the testing. Normally there are different set of people who will be working on different set of functionalities, so they initially do the testing as and when they're developing. In the sense, like when they develop something, they have unit tests to test it. For example, you're developing a login form, right? So at that time it doesn't need to have integration testing. When you're having your login form along with your maybe your product page, that's when you'll do integration testing. So the integration framework differs on whatever piece of work you're picking.
Got it. Thank you so much. Now, this is the most asked question of this session. What advice would you give to someone who is just starting their career in software testing in QA?
Maybe learn across some of the tools and see where you can utilize AI in your work, so that will reduce your time required to complete the testing, and also make sure that you are more proficient in completing things fast. Like it increases your productivity. That's what I can say. See, everybody are in the thinking that people will be replaced by AI, right? No, people will be replaced by people who know AI. So that's where you will have to learn things and upskill yourself. So when you know AI, then you'll be in a one step ahead of everyone, and you'll be testing it fast. And like as soon as you've entered into a field like testing, so you should be able to understand what are the tools available, like what are the products will make your life easy, and you must be able to understand it on the 10,000 feet at least. That's when where you can utilize those and make your everyday work easy.
Got it. So definitely that's something which everyone in, even not just as a tester, any domain, I believe we have to make sure that in the era of AI, you need to know how to use it to improvise the processes that you are performing underneath, so that you are faster and better than everyone. So that is one major key point. AI cannot do something alone, but paired with a human brain, it can do wonders. So definitely I totally align with that. Lastly, we have one more question, that how can accessibility be integrated early in the development process, and why is it crucial to be started from, like, considered from the very beginning, like while we are developing the PRD or even ideating the project?
So, as and when what normally happens in any production level application or development you're doing is, as and when you get requirement, the first thing is you'll be checking on the accessibility to see like will this product be easy to utilize from everyone. It doesn't need to be for a set of users. You should always make sure that you have the thinking integrated into your head. So when you're thinking and developing any product, you should make sure that you are understanding there are various sets of people of different types of capabilities utilizing this. How can I make it friendly? So when you think it in that way, you start thinking like, what is the pain point in my product? So when you think about others, then you'll try to make your product very easy and simple, where everyone can use it. So if you think like there is a person like maybe they're blind, and you can have an audio option available on the top of your app or product, where it can just click it and then you can see that they'll be able to hear it. So if they can't see, at least they must be able to hear it. So there should be features like this. So as and when you get your requirements, like what are my users, yeah, what are my requirements, and how can I make sure that all variety of users will be able to utilize my product? These are the questions to be put across in the initial stages of your development. So then you will not be coming back and making your product, reiterating your product to make it accessible to everyone. So initial stages are the rightful things where you will have to keep it in your mind and then develop it.
Definitely, with current state of booming startups like e-commerce, quick commerce, and the whole bunch of food delivery apps, accessibility is one of the major factors. Even while like you're planning the algorithms, how to target the users, re-engage them, reiterate with them, I believe that is one of the most important things to think of while we are just even planning how the product strategy should look like. So I totally align with that. And it was great interacting with you, Kostuba, and thank you so much for your time today. So loved having you, and audience definitely loved interacting with you as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and all the best for everyone. And hope you have great learning takeaways. Don't think about the results. That's what I feel. Think it as like a learning experience. Maybe you will learn different things, meet across new people. Maybe one or the other point might run across your mind when you are in your career 10 years later. So think it as an experience and have a great time.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up, I'll be sharing the quiz that we have for this session in the chat. You'll also get it over your registered emails shortly. In the meantime, while we get that quiz link in this chat, I'll be telling you how to get started and what is the template that you need to use. So let me just pull up my screen quickly. Yeah. So you all must have received an email with an entry pass where you would have got the recording of the launch session. We have already covered this. I'll be covering this once again. You will go to the communal.com. You will try different things, and then once you face any difficulties or something unusual, you have to report it in this template. So you will not get the edit access to this Google Sheet. You have to click on File, and here you see option Make a Copy. You'll click on that, and you will get your own copy of this Google Sheet. In the second section, you can fill your full name here. You can enter your registered email address over here, which you have participated with on Communal. And then you come back to this sheet. Here are a few examples that you can delete. These are just for a reference. Like let's say there's some broken link on an event page, some community page is loading really slow, or there is something misaligned on Safari, which is the iOS browser, or maybe Opera if you're using that. And for the screen reading, labels are not active, or payment button is not working. You can give a short description of the issue that you're facing. You can categorize it. Further, you also have to mention which device you were using when you encountered the issue, and you can also check your browser version. Just type on the Google, check my browser version, and you will get which version of the browser you are using. There are multiple tools online. Next up, there is priority and severity. So I won't deep dive into it. We'll share the launch session video where we have covered this in detail. But basically, priority is something on how quickly we should pick on this. Severity is how much it is breaking the product, how much it is breaking the website. If the website on a click just goes away, it's not even accessible anymore, it's a high severity. Priority is that registration form is not working or sign up form is not working. That's a priority thing. It's not breaking the whole website, but it's a priority to solve. So that's how you will decide between priority and severity. Again, here you will shortly describe steps to reproduce. You can This is like an optional field. You can give it or you can skip it, but this is the most important thing. Jam.dev. Go to Google and search about Jam testing extension, and you will get this Jam extension for free. Install it, and whatever bug you have encountered, try to reproduce that. It will record everything, basically your console logs, network logs, and the whole things that are happening on the screen. So this is where you can skip the steps to reproduce, because this will automatically record your screen, and you can share the link with us. So that is about evidence link. Further, expected result, basically you signed up on a platform. Now you should be seeing your dashboard, but instead you were redirected to home page or somewhere else, and you are not logged in. Or maybe you registered for an event, but the form didn't got submitted. It's asking you to submit the details again and again. Anything which is not expected result, so you can write, I was supposed to get registered, then the actual result is I got a 404 page, or the page reloaded, or the button did not work. Anything which was the actual result that you faced. Additionally, if you want to mention something like this is only happening on desktop, this is only happening over Wi-Fi, it's not happening on my mobile data, or this happening over my specific browser, or anything which is a specific comment that you want to add, this is optional field which you can add. So just make a copy of this sheet, and you'll be good to go. A minimum of 5 bugs and attending all these 3 quizzes, and first quiz must be live by now. So we'll be sharing the session after this session, the links with you over email. So thank you so much for joining in. That's Avnish signing off from Ambitious, and have a great weekend. Looking forward to your productive inputs and keep hunting. Thank you so much, everyone.